So, hi, I'm Patricia Bottero St-Jean, founder of Open for Business. So, last week I was having a discussion with a friend who has been a business broker for the past 25 or 30 years, I think. And we were chatting about equity in businesses that are for resale. So, acquiring an existing business might be one of your options. Or, of course, you could also start a business from zero or develop a turnkey concept like a franchise. But our discussion was about the misconceptions about building equity in a business. And also, a lot of people get into a business, whether it's an independent business startup or a turnkey, like a franchise or business opportunity, or the acquisition of an existing business that is for sale. Rarely do they think about how much equity they want to build and how much they want to recover of that initial investment when they are ready to exit and sell their business at the end of their career in that business. And that's a shame because a lot of that decision should happen well before you start a business. So one of the points that my friend was making, that was a very few people who sell a business actually gain equity or even sometimes even recover their full initial investment. And I believe the reason is that they are not really thinking about equity when they initially get into that business. So some businesses, depending on how you build them, you won't recover any equity. Other businesses, like an acquisition, for example, when you buy the business, if the business is already profitable and cash flow positive, chances are that this business is already optimized. So here's an example. Let's say you're considering a restaurant or a gym or a hair salon for the sake of discussion. And either one of them is busy at 80% of its available resources, of time and space. What you're buying when you're acquiring that small business that is already optimized, you're buying the fact that it is developed and it is positive cash flow. So let's say you pay $100,000 or $500,000 or even $1 million for that cash flowing business. Chances are, if you maintain its exact same level of profitability, you're not going to recover more than what you already invested in it, which means no equity for you. It's great if you recover, but of course you would have taken advantage of the cash flow of all these years. But this is something to consider. And again, it's not necessarily a reason to not acquire a business that is cash flowing and optimized. The only way to think about how you could grow that equity in that business above and beyond what you've already paid for it is by expanding it or scaling it and growing it, which will most likely require more than what your initial investment was. So something to think about when you're considering an acquisition of a business, or even when you're thinking of developing a brand new franchise or business opportunity. People investing 200K, 300K in a franchise, unless they're making at least this much in sellers' discretionary earning per year, it would be challenging to recover multiple of that investment in equity. And again, in most cases, and of course, depending on how you structure that business and how it's being run. And there are other factors, that we could discuss further later on, but something to think about. Another possibility, on the other hand, is, let's say you see people who invest cents on the dollar in a business that is breaking even or even losing money. That requires a lot of confidence, but when they succeed in turning it around, then they can cash in on significant equity when they sell it. The point is, thinking of equity in your business, how to build it, and whether you want equity or not, it's important. It's a key question you need to ask yourself to consider well before you choose any business to start, whether it's a startup, independent business from ground zero, from your idea, or investing in a turnkey concept, or the acquisition of an existing business. So I want to share that idea with you because a lot of people don't think about it. So meanwhile, Leave me a comment. If you enjoyed this topic, let me know. If you have other topics you'd like me to share, I'd love to hear that from you too. And if you do want to learn more about key consideration before you transition to business ownership, equity is one of the many topics we cover in my business ownership masterclass. So feel free to send me an email or go to my website. It's openforbusinesslab.com. And I hope to see you soon. Meanwhile, cheers to building a life we love. Take care.